In this video, we will be showing you how to replace the rear brakes on your Audi Q5, located behind your rear wheel. You will need a scan tool with the ability to reset your electronic calipers. Let's get started. Before we get started, let's retract our caliper piston with our scan tool. Let's get started with the job. Safely raise and support the vehicle so that the wheel is off the ground. Now, starting with the hubcap, you will need a pick or a special Audi tool to be able to remove the hubcap from this center hole right here. Now we'll be using the 17mm socket to remove the wheel. Restarting the first bolt in a couple threads. Doing this will prevent the wheel from falling off. Support the bottom of the wheel. Use your socket to remove the last bolt. And remove the wheel. Now that we have our brakes exposed, we are going to focus on the caliper. Using a prying device, I'm using a flathead screwdriver. We are going to slide it right in between the hole and pull our caliper forward. And now we can safely remove the caliper. Now we're going to take our sliding pin bolts. Using a clamp, we're going to hold on to this inner sliding pin. And using a 13mm socket, we are going to remove the bolt. Do the same with the bottom. Now we can move our caliper out of the way. Make sure not to pinch any brake hoses. Now let's remove the brake pads. I will be using a prying device. Just slide them out. Now we're going to be removing the 18mm bolts from the caliper bracket. Let's remove the caliper bracket and set it aside. Let's reinstall the lug bolt a couple threads so that the rotor doesn't fall off. We are going to remove this T30 torque screw that is holding the rotor in place. We are going to hold the rotor in place while we remove that last lug bolt and remove the rotor. Now that we have our caliper bracket on the bench, let's remove the tins. Since we were provided with new ones, we will not need to clean these, so you may toss them out. Now that we're here, we're going to clean the grooves with a wire brush. I'm using a wheel. You may use a brush if it's easier for you. Do the same on the other side. Now that our surface is clean, let's remove the pins. If the boots are still attached to your pins, you will need to remove those as well. Now that we have the pins out, we can go ahead and start cleaning them. To do this, we will be using brake clean and a clean rag. Now we are going to clean the boots. Taking that same rag or a new one, we're going to twist it up. Send it right through the boot. Do the same with the other one. After cleaning both of our pins and our boots, we can move on to the caliper bracket. As you can see, we now have a collection receptacle. I will be using brake clean to clean inside of the caliper brackets. Using a wire brush, I am going to go inside. Do the same thing with the other side. Now that we have our caliper bracket cleaned, let's reinstall the boots onto our pins. Pushing the boots back, we're going to lubricate the pins wherever they're going to make contact with the caliper bracket. You're going to work it in. And do the same with the other one. Clean up any excess grease with a rag. After that application, we're gonna actually lube up the tin area as well. This will prevent moisture from going underneath the tins when we apply them again. Now install on the tins. Line them up and press them down. Do the same with the other side. Now we're ready to go back into the vehicle. We can clean the mounting surface for the rotor using a wire brush. With our drain pan underneath, we're going to be using some brake parts cleaner. On this clean surface, we will be using some anti-seize. Now that we have prepped our surface area, we are going to be using our T30 to mount the rotor. You want to make sure that your hole is lined up. And now moving on to the caliper bracket. Now when reinstalling the caliper bracket, you will notice that you have two different lengths. On this variant of the vehicle, the longer bolt will always be at the top. After securing the caliper bracket in place, we will be torquing those bolts down to 74 foot-pounds. Now we'll be doing the same for the top. In this instance, I am using a swivel. Now let's install our brake pads. On these caliper bracket tins, you can see that they already have wings. This is where you're going to be inserting your brake pad. Make sure you line up this notch in between the edge of the wing and the very beginning right there. Do the same with the top. And the same with the opposite side. We can now reinstall our caliper. We can start our bolts by hand. Be sure to use grips on the inner sliding pin because when you tighten the nut, it will spin with it. These bolts will be torqued down to 20 foot-pounds. Top one is torqued. One last quick inspection of our brake area. Check over everything, make sure you did not leave anything loose. Now let's install our wheel. Now I'll be using a 17mm socket to start the threads by hand. Doing this will prevent the wheel from falling off. Now start the rest. Now snug them down in a star form pattern. With the wheel safely on the ground, let's torque our lug bolts to 103 foot-pounds in a star form pattern. After we have torqued our lug bolts, we will be reinstalling our hubcap. The easiest way to do this is that you will be lining the hole so that it matches up with where the valve stem goes. Now that I've shown you how to replace your brake pads and rotors, do the same on the other side. After that, go back to your scan tool and push a piston back out. Pump up the brake pedals and take it out for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.